Good afternoon all, it's Christmas Eve and today's Christmas decoration is, no, not something I bought, it's something I made. It's the Merry Christmas LED sign. Finally finished. Probably about 20 hours of work, maybe even more if I'm honest. Couple of late nights, 3 a.m, 4:30 last night. But I think that's looking good. Okay, yes, it's a bit rubber bandy up there where the battery's held on. And there's a hole up here because I changed my minds about front-facing LEDs and went for side-facing LEDs. And it's not a complete circle here because for some reason I decided to have two LEDs in the middle, these green two. But all in all, a nice effect. But it took so long to make these little clusters of components. LED, transistor, two capacitors, because I could have used one, but I didn't have the correct values. These are just capacitors I had in abundance. Two resistors, and I thought, well, that won't take long to bodge those components together. But it's times 19. And you'd think, wouldn't you, that someone who spent their life playing with electronics would have some sense of scale. I mean, we work with resistors that range from milliohms to megohms. That's 100 milliohms. And that's brown, black, blue, 10 megohms. It's the biggest one I could find. And capacitors ranging from a couple of picofarads. This is a 1.8 picofarad capacitor to hundreds of farads. You'd think I could have worked out that doing something fiddly and laborious 19 times would take an absolute age. Right, I'm just warming up the soldering iron to bodge a wire onto here, which puts the little feedback link across, which changes the pattern because there are two alternate patterns. There's the sort of rotating ring oscillator type pattern, and then by putting a wire across between two stages, we can get a more random pattern. So I'm just warming up the soldering iron. Today I thought I'd use the yellow sponge with the star-shaped hole. Right, so just strip a bit of this wire back, and then I think we need a 100k resistor in there because I don't think I added it into this module. This is the one where I added the double resistor going into the base of the transistor. So here's the circuit once again. Most modules have a 100k resistor going into the base of the transistor. One of the modules has two 100k resistors going into the base, and it's this module here, but I didn't put the extra 100k on, so I'm just going to connect that between these two things and we should get the random pattern. Yeah, this brings back memories of early this morning. Right, let's solder that onto these two wires. So I'm using the two independent finger control method for the device I'm soldering and the solder. And if you can't do this, you really should practice it because it's extremely handy. It effectively gives you three hands, so I can put a bit of solder on there and tin that resistor. And there's the random pattern, but I don't think it's the right one. I think I've picked off the wrong tap. Oh, that's going to take a while to fix. Oh, well, anyway, Merry Christmas.